Good morning.
Good morning.
The role of a comptroller is a very important position for us in the city, in the streets. We have friends. We have John Doherty. He's been there when we go on our marches and our vigils. Bruce Crawley over to my right, who wasn't mentioned, but he and his wife Pam both have come out to help me. Jamie Blackwell's been there like ever since day one. And I've been doing activism for 40 years in Philadelphia, 24 of which with Mantua Against Drugs under the tutelage of a giant, Herman Rice. So I knew about what goes on in these streets. Mayor Green, your dad, he was very instrumental in walking with us and helping. Mary Tasco has been there when police officers have been gunned down. She stood tall. Louise William Bishop in Winfield area. But why do we need the comptroller, Jonathan Seidel? I'm glad he's here today because I said to myself, geez, I hope Jonathan's supporting him. This would be a bad day for me to come and support Alan Butkovitz, and then I'd have to say something about the man who did it originally and did it well, and that's Jonathan Seidel, because if anyone was there for us when we went up on his floor to see him from the community, the women I marched with, we used to call them the ladies, we still do. They're bold, they're in your face, they want their neighborhood safe, they want their neighborhoods back, and they would be able to come down and sit in the conference room with Jonathan Seidel. Well, what the comptroller does for us, and what's continuing under this man's leadership and why he must be reelected, is he makes sure we're safe out here. He makes sure that the monies are accounted for, that what is being spent on the citizenry is spent on the citizenry, that it's an accounting that's being held on the highest levels, that he takes on everybody. He's not afraid to take on a system that people thought was sacrosanct. He makes sure that they're held accountable to the public, to us, the taxpayers. I can't imagine Philadelphia without this man being a controller again, because when I met him, it was in the streets. It was over in Progress Plaza. He came out, and it was Mel Wells with his dad, Reverend Wells, and a group of guys from ODAT, Who's That? And they were all in the streets together, and we did a huge march for safety. We're trying to save our police officers from this rash of violence that's going on, where they're being gunned down, the men and women in blue. We're trying to save our children in this city from the scourge of drugs and drug dealers, and we're trying to save families. And we need somebody who's going to account for the monies to do all that. Somebody who's going to say, look, I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to make sure the schools are held accountable, the utilities are held accountable, any organization that wants to try to get the city monies to burgeon forth and be who they are. So I'm proud to be standing here today and supporting Alan Butkovitz for city comptroller. I think it's the right thing to do. And I mentioned the other names because these are friends of ours who've been there for us. Tommy St. Hill, I see him in the room somewhere. He's another person who's been out there as a friend. So for all those that didn't mention by me, I wanted to tell you thank you, because we live where the gunshots are so frequent, and the gunfire, you can smell it. You can hear the anguish of the mothers crying out into the night because their sons are being killed. We may be reducing homicides in all the cities in this country, but African American males from the ages of 14 to 21, it's 36% jump, the highest in the nation. We got to do better. We have a great police commissioner to work with and a mayor, Michael Nutter. So we're going to do all this together, and then we're going to have our comptroller again, Alan Butkovitz. Thank you.